what would you advise someone who's just right now living on referrals?
So ideally, in this current market, the life cycle of a referral is 2 years. That's it. उसके बाद आपको regular काम नहीं आएगा. Maybe once in a while किसी से काम आ जाएगा. The problem is everybody starts through referrals and then they do not try anything else. And when that cycle stops, then they're like, what did we just do to ourselves? Design business alone cannot make you financially stable. Consider it like the second gear of your car. But if you want to hit the highway, you cannot drive on the second gear. What are your third, fourth, fifth gears? If your business does not have a presence on social media, business does not exist. मेरा सबसे पहले 20,000 square feet office space project की लीड मेरे पास जब आई थी, वो Instagram से आई थी.
Instagram से आई थी.
जी, और सामने से आई थी.
Interior designing is a perception problem in India. Clients think designers are expensive unnecessarily or just decorators. Whose fault is it? Is it the industry fault or is just the designers themselves?
Mostly people are selling dreams and bullshit. Nothing is worse than an indecisive client. So if let's say a husband and wife, it took them 6 months into the project to say it out loud that we are a separated couple who live together.
Oh my God.
I am going to be so hated for this. Our education has trained us to think of business as unethical.
Thanks, Utsav, for joining in to another interesting episode of Headway to Growth. So,
Thank
who's
you.
Utsav? Are you an interior designer? Are you an architect? Are you a business coach? Or are you a content creator? So, who is Utsav? If I randomly met you in a mall, who's Utsav?
Why would I define myself in one word?
Still, I mean, if through the larger crowd, like who's Utsav? If someone asks you who's Utsav,
Utsav is a girl
okay,
who is always excited and passionate about building.
about building,
And that building doesn't really have to be a building.
okay,
It can be building anything.
okay, okay.
Yeah.
So, how, as by profession, tell me more about yourself.
So I'm an architect. I did my master's in architecture, specializing in urban design. I love urban design more than I love architecture. I love working in public domain. My dream is to build like this cultural space. That is my dream project. Before I die, I want to do this. And that's what I'm manifesting also. I did not intend on becoming a coach ever or a content creator. My boyfriend pushed me to start on Instagram. He's now my husband. And he was like, you'll do very good on Instagram. You know how to talk. You know how to articulate your thoughts in right words. And, you have that thing that people would listen. And I just started coaching as a simple blog. And I used to talk about the mistakes that I made every time I landed a client or I lost a client, I was dealing with a client or I did not get a payment through. And I would just talk about those things like, okay, this is how I fucked up. And if I were to do this again, here's how I would do it differently. That got brilliant response. And what I did was just one fine night, probably around 4 a.m, I had this personal account called Rapunzel_17. I'm a Tangled fan. So I changed that into my own official name, which is there still now. And I just started talking about it in blogs and carousels, free Canva account, 2500 rupees ka wordpress.org. That's it. That's all I did. And I started posting regularly and I built this little community of architects and interior designers who were feeling the same gap that I was feeling. कि हमें design सिखा दिया पर हमें business of design नहीं सिखाया. And that's how I grew up to be, I learned from my own mistakes. Luckily, I found mentors, Studio RD, they're my mentors. Took a lot of guidance from them. Installed systems very early in life. I realized that मुझे पूरा सुबह से लेकर रात तक मुझे firefighting नहीं करना है. I want a slightly slower life and I have to start building towards it now. So I think in 2020, I was probably 27 years old. And I started building systems before I was in the position to scale.
Okay.
So I was still building it.
So you like building?
Yeah, I love building.
So you'll call yourself more of an entrepreneur, like than a designer.
I would never define myself in one word.
You don't want to define yourself
I
in
do
one
not
word.
want to define myself
What
in
about
one word.
urban design? Like, what is urban design? Like, I'm very new to urban
So,
design.
urban design is different from urban planning. And in my understanding, urban design is sort of like an extension of architecture. It's an entire experience of how you feel when you're walking through a larger space. For example, if it's a commercial space, for example, you look at, I don't know, in Delhi, I would say Worldmark,
Okay.
right? Or if you look at any new place that
Like a
is
Cannot Place in Delhi, like an
kind
urban.
of,
Yeah.
kind of, you can say. So anything which is for everybody, it is not restricted to only people who can pay the money, but it's open for everyone. And there's a certain sense of experience that it gives to you, right? It has architecture, of course, but it's more like it up a notch, something like that.
And is it different from like it's more in terms of external facades and all that stuff, or is it something where the interior is also integrated into urban design?
So interiors is very different, right?
Okay.
When you're talking about a very large scale, then comes the architectural scale, then comes the interior scale.
Right.
Of course, I feel that in the urban scale, you do not think so much about the interiors part.
Right.
But when you're looking at something architecturally, it's my opinion that architecture and interior should always go hand in hand. It's not like you build the entire structure and then you're thinking, कि अच्छा अब interiors में क्या करना है?
Right.
It
Right.
should not be like that.
Right. So, what's one thing nobody warned you about before starting a design company? Like, it's for me when people come to me and all is like, you are doing a very creative work. You would be enjoying. I like if someone give me the job, I would love to wake up every morning and do something creative. But it's not. So it's something which no one told you that this is the reality.
Just because you're good at design doesn't mean that you should have a practice.
Okay.
Absolutely does not.
So it's two different things.
These are two very different things. You could be really good at design, but if you're not good at business, you do not have business acumen in you, it's a very expensive job. So, everybody when they start in their 20s, they're very in their heads. कि हम तो we'll make our mark in the world, we'll do this, we'll do that. We have like big dreams. But when you actually start doing things and when you see that, in college we did this, in jobs we did this, but when we are actually in front of people, they don't give a shit what you do. So that just humbles you. And when you get humbled that way, that is when you realize, कि, okay, this is the pool I'm in. So either you swim or you die.
It's that hard.
It's hard.
It's hard.
And in today's hard, starting out on your own, it's harder because of AI. It's harder.
Does AI disrupt design? Like it is completely disrupted design, or is it going to help designers?
No, it's going to help designers.
So, what is one common thing the most talented designers lack in terms of business?
Emotional endurance.
Okay. Would you like to tell me more in terms of emotional endurance?
So, basically, what it means is that you will have some really, really hard days. Some days where you will not even have money to pay to your staff. Some days where you will not have any money to give to your family. And in those days, having that courage to still look at yourself and still feel confident in yourself and still feel like it's just a bad day. That is something that most people don't have. It's not about what your clients are doing. It's not about what your market is doing. What I've seen in my experience of coaching architects and designers in these past few years, they'll start a certain way. They see that it's working. Mostly it's just referrals. They'll see that it's working. And then they'll be 100% dependent on it. So ideally, in this current market, the life cycle of a referral is 2 years. That's it. उसके बाद आपको रेगुलर काम नहीं आएगा. Maybe once in a while किसी से काम आ जाएगा. The problem is everybody starts through referrals and then they do not try anything else. And when that cycle stops, then they're like, what did we just do to ourselves? So, Emotional endurance becomes very important in those days because you cannot, how do I put it in the right way? It's not about the clients, it's not about the team, it's not about the market, it's your inability to try different things. It's like Albert Einstein says that, madness is trying the same thing and expecting different results. It cannot happen. And in today's time, it cannot happen. If your referral network is working, you need to parallelly build 3 more networks so that when that dies, this one works. It's like with money.
So which is the network? Say for example, right now, most of the, I would say at least 50 to 60% of designers, if you ask them what is your source of
Referrals.
it's all referral. So is there two things? Is there a professional way where you can build a process in terms of generating more referrals?
Yes.
If yes, then what is that process? And second question is, what are the other 3 things what you spoke about in terms of how do you generate a different avenue of generating leads? Because in today's world, which I feel the biggest moat for anyone is distribution, and that's marketing, like content and other stuff. So can you tell me how do you build a system through referrals?
So let's be real about one thing. Design business alone cannot make you financially stable. It takes a lot of time to do that. I think you also know, I also, everybody knows that, right? So when you start with a referral network, what I'm saying is it's like, consider it like the second gear of your car. But if you want to hit the highway, you cannot drive on the second gear. What are your third, fourth, fifth gears? Your third gear would be your social circle. People, just say our fathers, they used to have so many people that knew him. राइट हमारे फादर्स को कितने लोग जानते हैं आज अगर कुछ हो जाए कितने लोग खड़े हो जाएंगे बिकॉज दे बिल्ट दैट सर्कल एंड दैट सर्कल इज इंपॉर्टेंट वेदर यू आर इन अ tier 1 city, tier 2 city, tier 3 city. Building a social circle where people know about you, about what you're doing. It's not that they have to recommend you or they have to be your clients. No, they're just there to vouch for you. That, this person is this, I've seen their work, it's amazing, please do check it out. Somebody who's there to say ki, this is a genuine person, you should work with them. Right? The third one would be networking events. Like this thing that I've recently started doing is there are a lot of these events happening in Gurgaon where these Dubai developers are coming in. A lot of Indian buyers are going there. I'll just go there and I'll randomly speak to people. Randomly. और मैंने इतनी प्रैक्टिस कर ली इस चीज़ की कि मुझे शर्म नहीं आती किसी से बात करने में. I'll randomly just praise them on something. If they have a kid, I'll just make them comfortable. It's okay. If they're wearing something nice, I'll just praise them. Or if they're having a conversation, I'll add something of my own and I'll talk to them. Just to build that, new network, meeting new people, doing something. Similarly, a lot of other networking groups that are there. You build that circle it's more about ek haath de, ek haath le. And number 4, I don't know why I'm still saying this. But you remember in the 90s, if you did not have your own, that Nokia ka dabba phone and your own phone number, you did not exist. That is what social media is today. If your business does not have a presence on social media, your business does not exist. PR is dead, in my opinion. Magazines are dead. Our potential clients are not looking at magazines. They're looking at Instagram. And you do not have to pay somebody else to get clients. You can just be your own PR. I am my own PR. I don't need to pay any magazine to get clients.
And you generate leads through all the 4 networks what you're talking about. If you have to rate for yourself, like and as an advice, what would you advise someone who's just right now living on referrals from all the 4 things what you spoke about? Which is the top thing which you can generate leads instantly?
Social media.
And what one needs to do in social media to generate leads?
See, there are 2 types of social media. One is where you're creating a service-based image for yourself, and one is like a content creator image for yourself. If you want to do content creation, then go ahead, do it. But if you want to, content creation is not something that you want to do. You just want leads out of it. Stick to the service-based thing. So what you do now, what I'm doing is a content creation as well, right? So I'm also bringing awareness. I'm also educating people on what is happening in the country, why this is, whatever, right? But if I had to just promote upscale, I would strictly talk about everything in context to my project. that if you're building a new home and you have a kid, here's what I'd suggest you do, and I'll tell you, this is what we did for the kids' bedroom, right? I would pick a pain point that is important for them, and I'd show you them what I've done for my project. I would not do anything else at all. But social media works so beautifully because जैसे हम referrals की बात करते हैं ना, on social media maybe somebody is following you, right? They liked what you talked about. They'll share it with a friend and they have nothing to do with you. They just liked what you talked about and they'll share it with a friend. That friend might be needing an interior designer.
Right.
So you did
don't
not
know.
have to maintain that relationship.
It's a digital footprint.
Yes.
It's going to stay you forever.
That's why I say that it's like if you, in the 90s, if you didn't have your phone, it's just like that.
In upscale, how many leads generally, as a percentage of total leads, what you generate out of social media?
A minimum of 20 per week.
20 per week. Wow. And
depending on what kind of content I'm posting.
So what works for you? And does it like work for you every week, or is it something where every week you got to start with something new?
On an average, it's 20 only. Some days it's higher. If the videos go viral, it's higher, but those viral leads are very bad. So 70% of those leads are nonsensical, don't make sense. Even those 30%, we have to filter them out, do the qualifications, and then उसमें से भी 10 leads निकलती हैं जो actually potentially निकलती हैं और फिर वो convert होती हैं. Maybe they'll convert now, maybe they'll convert 8 months from now. Because a lot of people, they start window shopping before they actually get the handover of the apartment.
Right. So it's a long cycle.
Yeah.
But still, आपके lead रहते, you're busy.
Yeah. We have people coming in, people talking कि ये करवाना है ऐसा.
And does the broker network help? Having real estate CRMs and the brokers and the builders.
Depends if you want to do that kind of work.
Yeah. Have you tried that before? Or is it something would you suggest?
Completely dependent on if you want to work with brokers and builders and do builder flows. उस तरह का काम करना है, sure. And I think it's good enough for cash flow, but I don't know if it's good enough for the longer run. Completely dependent on what kind of life you are aiming towards. अगर आप चाह रहे हो कि नहीं मुझे कल को विलास बनाने हैं, then this is just good enough to get you on the road. और अगर आप चाह रहे हो कि नहीं मुझे तो ये बिल्डर्स के साथ काम करके कोठियाँ ही बनानी है, it's quick money and that's what I want. Go ahead.
Right.
Do it.
And what about in commercial fit out business like offices and restaurants?
Love them.
Yeah. And उसमें कैसे leads हो सकते हैं यार? उसमें problem है कि the end users are not your buyers. And your buyers are your admins, your MDs, the CXO level crowd. And abhi need nahi hai. Like if I reach out to a CEO, like for example, who running a very good corporate banking or anything, so usko abhi to abhi office ki need nahi hai. So his need will come, वो तब सोच के रखेगा, and by the time maybe you're not again, in his mind or whatever. So how do you generate leads in a business like commercial fit out and offices?
मेरा सबसे पहले 20,000 स्क्वायर फीट ऑफिस स्पेस प्रोजेक्ट की लीड मेरे पास जब आई थी, वो इंस्टाग्राम से आई थी.
Instagram से आई थी.
जी, और सामने से आई थी.
Nice.
से आई थी.
And who reached out to you?
Their MD in India.
Okay, so basically their MD in India saw your content.
His wife was following me.
Okay.
She showed it to him कि ये बड़ी अच्छी वीडियोस बनाती है, मुझे ऐसे ऐसे करके बनवाना है. And then he reached out to me on the email that do you do offices? So नोएडा में था ये, and we set up a meeting. पूरा मिले, सारा पूरा presentation tech सब कुछ किया.
और convert हो गई. So basically again the content is something which can help you in terms of commercial fit outs
There's this
also.
term that I'm forgetting. It's called I'm forgetting this term, and I like to use this term a lot in my master classes. It's basically when you create thought-provoking content and when you put your point of view on things. For example, last to last year, these basins came in. What do we call them? I'm very bad at remembering names.
The basins are these.
Where you can't see the drains.
I forgot that. The hidden
Concealed
ones.
basins. Concealed basins came in,
Okay,
right?
okay.
And one of our clients was very much. उन्होंने जिद पकड़ ली थी कि नहीं मुझे तो बाथरूम में अपने बाथरूम में यही चाहिए. I made a video on it. कि why that's a bad idea. And there are several comments saying that we were going to make it, thank you for making this video. कि हम ये बनवाने वाले थे कि आपने बता दिया कि ये इंडियन होम्स के लिए क्यों नहीं है. So I told them you can only have this in border rooms, but in Indian homes you cannot have this. So this kind of things where you're talking about something and you're sharing your take on it builds your credibility. That shows that you know your shit.
And that actually helps you in terms of obviously business development.
क्योंकि ट्रस्ट आ गया ना क्लाइंट के. अगर मैं आपको एक चीज़ बता रही हूँ कि आप एक चीज़ को लेके हेलबेंट हो कि मुझे ये लगाना, मैं आपको ये बता दूँ कि ये तुम्हारे लिए ठीक नहीं है, मैंने तो आपके पैसे बचा दिए ना. Why is that wrong?
Right.
Why won't you trust me?
And then obviously then I think so people like to go more functionally than aesthetically. Like okay, functionally that person knows their shit in terms of okay, bhai, this is what the function should be. Because I think functionally you can't correct, no? Once function goes wrong.
Yeah.
So obviously the function is something where
Aesthetic is still chalo theek hai.
chalo theek hai, and that can go in. So there are a lot of designers don't do business development on a regular basis, right? and they find up saying that we don't have money or the business is not working for us. What is your message to those kind of people, like those kind of designers who are not actively doing business development, or they say it's not their thing?
I think I said this on a panel. A design business is 30% design, 70% management.
30% design and
70% management.
Okay.
Yes. So 30% is design and drawing, 70% is just making sure that everything is done properly,
Right.
that your design comes to life. So here's how I like to approach this. There's this I don't know, I heard this quotation in some podcast. It said ki don't wait to be ready. When you do it, then you'll be ready, right?
Yeah.
So the same thing goes for business. You'll never be ready for your first project until you do that first project, right? Similarly, you will never be ready to scale your business until you actually take that action and scale your business. And that action starts before you're ready. So my idea is that if, let's say, I feel like I might need to hire somebody in a couple of months, I'll start that hiring right now. 1 महीना लगेगा मुझे किसी ढंग के कैंडिडेट को ढूंढने में, उसके बाद 1 महीना लगेगा मुझे उसे ऑन बोर्ड करके उसको ट्रेन करके रेडी करने में. देन दैट पर्सन कैन टेक द लोड ऑफ माई शोल्डर्स.
Right.
That is 2 months of extra resources that I've spent. 1 month of salary and 1 month of putting ads on LinkedIn and Indeed and here and there, right? But then before that workload came, that person was ready to take that workload from me. Otherwise, what would I have done? I would have spent 5 more hours making those drawing sets, making those 3Ds that I could have invested in what?
Right.
Getting more business.
Right.
Yeah. So as founders, our primary job is number 1, to keep the business coming in. Number 2, to keep the cash flow flowing. And number 3, to keep the team intact. And number 4, of course, design. क्योंकि हमने बिजनेस कोई ड्राइंग सेट्स बनाने के लिए शुरू किया था या डिज़ाइन करने के लिए शुरू किया था.
Right.
Right? डिज़ाइन करने के लिए किया था. We were
100%,
passionate about design.
100%.
We wanted to leave a mark of ours, right? तो बट हम इस चीज़ों में क्यों फंस गए? हम कि सुबह 4 बजे तक हम ड्राइंग्स बना रहे हैं, फिर सुबह 9 बजे वी आर फायर फाइटिंग बिकॉज कॉन्ट्रैक्टर नहीं आया या ये खराब हो गया या टाइल टूट गई. Why are we living that life?
So why aren't designers, where it's so important to, for the first part, what you said, among the 3 things what you mentioned, okay, first thing is your business comes in, second thing is the cash flow, and third thing is the design. So first thing is business coming in, and I think so that becomes your least priority.
I also
as a
mentioned
design.
team. Sorry.
Yeah, sorry, team. The team is being taken care. So out of that entire thing, the first one is business coming in. So why do you think that the designers not prioritize business development as a core function of running a successful design company?
I'm going to be so hated for this. Our education has trained us to think of business as unethical.
But that's architecture, because it comes under the ethical law and all, because same is chartered accountancy also comes, like architecture and chartered accountancy also, you can't promote your business and other ethics come into picture, but interior design does not. Architecture, yes, you can't promote, right? I mean, directly and stuff. But interior designing?
I don't know. Because interior designing came a little later, right? Architecture was always there for centuries.
So always it's architecture then interior designing. So because of that, generally that whole mindset of people not promoting their business is very natural, and they thought designing is, if I do a good design, I'm happy.
I would rather say, I would not say कि first it's architecture then interior design. I would not put it like that. But I would rather say that this is not even a conversation in the entire education system.
Okay. Business development or business coaching as such, like business.
Yeah. Like, how do you do that? That's not even a conversation
right.
at all. So
Right.
that is something that you, when you get out and when you think that, okay, I'm going to make some really mind-blowing designs, and then the client is like, and then you realize कि ये क्या हुआ मेरे साथ.
So
That's why.
And
You've
how-
been trained to only think about design, not think about the business side of it.
that's quite interesting, and that comes to someone who would need a coach in your designing. So let's come
That's
to
the
your
idea.
coaching business.
That's the
How
idea.
did you start with business coaching?
Okay, so like I told you, I started with blogs,
Yeah.
and people loved it because it gave them the exact insight that they were looking for. Everybody identified the gap कि हमें किसी ने ये बताया नहीं कि कैसे करना है, but कैसे करना है, क्या करना है, was something still that was there. And I, okay, this comes from my impatience. आई एम अ वेरी इम्पेशेंट पर्सन इवन नाउ. मुझे कोई भी चीज़ अगर सीखनी है, आई विल डेडिकेट अ वीक फॉर इट एंड आई विल फिनिश इट अप इन अ वीक. एनीथिंग. मैं उससे ज़्यादा टाइम किसी चीज़ को नहीं देती हूँ, क्योंकि अगर मुझे कोई चीज़ चाहिए तो मुझे अब चाहिए. लाइक आई स्पेंड डेज नाइट्स व्हाटएवर जस्ट फिनिशिंग दैट ऑफ. So I learned about business development myself at that point of time. I did courses from Coursera, Harvard Business और ये और वो जो भी online free courses है मैंने सब करे. I took up a lot of courses from these US coaches, business coaches ये सब, क्योंकि इंडिया के coaches का इतना पता नहीं था तब मुझे. I did so many things on that level, learned from that, applied that, it worked.
Oh.
एंड देन आई टॉक्ड मोर एंड मोर अबाउट इट. तो जितना ज़्यादा वो वर्क करता गया कि मैंने ये स्ट्रैटेजी अप्लाई करी, मैंने ये नेगोशिएशन अप्लाई करी, आई रेड बुक. सो एट दैट पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम इन 2019 आई यूज टू रीड 1 book per month on negotiation, client dealing, communication,
1 book a month?
influence.
Okay.
1 book a month.
Okay. Correct.
So I was that hardcore into कि because I was in that phase at that time कि मुझे बस पैसा कमाना है. I just want to make money. I just want to, I want our family to be back in those normal days, and that's it. So I found the fastest way possible was courses and books. I applied that. It worked. I started talking about it कि मैंने ये बुक से मैंने ये चीज़ सीखी, मैंने क्लाइंट के साथ ऐसे अप्लाई करा, and this is how it worked, etc. Then people started asking for it. कि can you do like a webinar, something like that. And that's how I started doing it. It was never my plan. It was always like it came to me. कि we would want to learn like a step-by-step process कि client को कैसे lock करते हैं, first call कैसे लेते हैं, pitch कैसे करते हैं, portfolio कैसे बनाते हैं, portfolio कैसे दिखाते हैं. And that's how my first courses also came into being, the business course. And that was at that point of time because I was also in the growing stage. तो तब वो उसी के हिसाब से बना था. फिर जैसे जैसे मेरी स्टेज बढ़ती गई वैसे वैसे मैं उसके अंदर डालती गई और कंटेंट डालती गई, ऐड करती गई, इंस्टेंसेस ऐड करती गई. दैट इफ़ यू डू दिस यू डू दैट, इफ़ यू डू दिस यू डू दैट, कमर्शियल क्लाइंट्स, बिल्डर क्लाइंट्स, ये क्लाइंट्स वो क्लाइंट्स, ऐसे करके. एंड फ्रॉम देयर it just sort of grew, and it was all demand. Like I had never thought about that I would become a coach or something. I just loved sharing that information, and I just thought कि मेरे साथ ये हुआ है और किसी के साथ ना हो.
Do you have a coach for your own business? Like, do you have a mentor?
I have lots of mentors.
Okay. You have a lot
Lots
of
of
mentors.
mentors, yes.
Okay.
And all of this, I have not done anything. It's God, it's mentors, it's the people who have been in my life, it's my friends, it's family, just them.
So does the mentorship or business coach help, or is it something where you can figure out on your own? Because I mean, I feel that business by itself is a very lonely journey. Like you wake up and you're alone. You work hard the whole day. You stay slogged for about 12 to 16 hours a day. Next day again, you got to do the same thing, right? Without any guidance.
Without any guidance, and you can't even crib about it to your family because then they'll get worried.
Yeah.
You
I think so. You're talking on this.
Yeah.
On a
I'll say one thing honestly. In today's time, people think that ChatGPT, Claude, and all of these things, they're very good with, you can do business just by taking advice from them. Business is not information. Business is strategy. Business is ideation. And only that person can give you a right guidance who has done that. AI cannot give you that guidance क्योंकि AI को data feed किया गया है. वो data feed करने वाले लोग कौन है? Have they done any business by themselves? No. A business owner is not going to feed data to help Claude help other people, right? Mentors, books, coaching. If I have spent close to about almost 10 lakh a year in coaching myself. Up till last year I had. This year I don't have. I want to. I'm more on a meditation spree this year. So I have spent that much amount per year on coaching, on mentorship, on learning new things, devising new strategies, devising new sales plans. And अगर मैं ये सब चीज़ें नहीं करती तो आज मैं जहाँ पहुँची हूँ शायद मैं 2040 में यहाँ पहुँचती.
So basically, it just helped you get
Fast
on
forward.
a
Fast forwarded
Superb.
significantly. Because whatever I was thinking कि अरे मैं ये करके देखती हूँ, मैं 1 साल उसको लगाऊंगी करने में. And I don't even know how to track those metrics. What is the basis to track those metrics? I could just ask my coach, I'm stuck here. What do I do? And they'll be like, what you're doing itself, that worked 5 years back, but now it doesn't work. Instead, you do this. And then I can come back with it that this is how it worked in a month, and then we go on and done. Why do it the hard way when you can do it the smart way, especially in today's economy? मतलब ये चीज़ें वर्क करती थी हमारे पेरेंट्स के टाइम पे in the 90s, in the early 2000s, it was fine. But it's just so different. The country is so different now. Why do the same things?
So what's your program like? Can you tell me more about your program? And this need not be the sales version. Tell me the actual breakdown on if I, as a designer, of someone who's just starting off or graduated from college or did an interior designing course and want to start something, how does your coaching program help and what do I get out of it?
Okay, so whether you're just starting out or whether you've been in the market for a while and you want to scale, since a lot of my time goes into the mentorship program, the weekly trainings, the Q&As, and making sure that you implement every single thing and you're getting results week by week, I will only pick you if I think that you have the drive to do something about your life. Otherwise, I'll probably ask my team to tell you to come back next year.
Okay, so you
and I
it's a
do that 50%
selective program.
of the time. Yes, it's not a first come first serve.
Oh, it's not. It's not something where you enroll.
No.
So you choose your students.
Yeah, so मैं students भी नहीं कहूँगी because they're all business owners. Yeah, but what I look at is fire. If I don't see fire, I say bye bye.
And what do you get? Someone, say, for example, someone has selected. So what are your criteria to select that?
This just one criteria, fire.
That it has to be something where
you are ready to. You're not somebody who likes to make excuses.
Right.
कि ये नहीं हुआ, टाइम नहीं मिला, घर में ये हो गया था. मुझे ये सब नहीं पसंद है क्योंकि सबके घर में कुछ ना कुछ चल रहा है.
Basically, you want action.
Action, yes.
Yeah.
Result
Every day
oriented
you want
person.
result, and this is a very result oriented coaching.
हाँ, मुझे बहाने नहीं पसंद है बिल्कुल भी. What I help people do is, let's say, you have problem with lead generation, right? Most people think their lead generation problem is a lead generation problem. It's a conversion problem. Number one. मतलब मैं.
Very interesting. I would want to know more on this.
I'm telling you about this. Okay. Most people come to. I think I have had this question 100 million times. How do I get clients? और मैं I question them back कि मैं तुम्हें अपनी 20 leads अभी दे देती हूँ. What is the guarantee you'll be able to convert them without going into losses? So every lead generation problem is actually a conversion problem.
Okay.
Generally,
okay.
In a standard market rate, the conversion ratio is around 50 to 60%. And most of the people, their conversion ratio is hardly 10%. तो अगर तुम्हारे पास 10 लीड्स आ भी गई, उसमें से तुमने 4 लीड्स वेस्ट कर दी हैं, तुम सिर्फ एक कन्वर्ट कर पा रहे हो, हाउ इज दैट अ लीड जनरेशन प्रॉब्लम?
Right.
यू कैन नॉट जस्ट कीप सेइंग द सेम थिंग कि लीड्स नहीं आ रही, लीड्स नहीं आ रही. अगर तुम 10 में से 5 लीड्स भी कन्वर्ट कर लेते हो, लेट्स जस्ट से यू मेड 5 lakh per product, that's 25 lakh rupees in pipeline. Even if you don't get 25 lakh rupees right now, at least you got what, 7-8 lakh rupees right now, right? And then next month again, so on. Number one, so whether you have a client lead problem, client conversion problem, systems problem, hiring problem, everything comes under this umbrella.
So basically,
Everything.
it's a complete set of running
Business
your business.
ecosystem, yes.
So who are the people who should not be taking, like the people who should not be taking your training? Like,
If you feel like you need time, if you feel like you're okay with where you are, even though some days it's painful, but that day you're very much geared up कि हाँ करना है, but on a normal day you'll be like चल छोड़ कोई बात नहीं, don't come, don't waste my time, don't waste your time, don't waste your money, don't waste my time.
right.
Simple.
So basically, someone who likes to procrastinate and likes the state on whatever state
Yeah,
they
they're
are in.
comfortable with it, don't come. And surprisingly enough, we have had 23-year-olds and we have had 60-year-olds as well. We have had first generation freelancers, we have had second generation firms as well. Both of them. So age does not matter, it's just your state of mind that matters to me. If you're like after attending all the trainings you're like कि I didn't find the time to do it, that's bullshit. Don't do that to yourself. मेरा छोड़ो, अपने साथ ऐसा मत करो.
So basically, training is not just a motivational tool कि आज ही मैं कर लूँगा.
No.
अगर आपने एक्शन नहीं लिया, फॉर एग्जाम्पल you take any business coaching training, right? And the kind of dopamine effect it gives you, like कि नहीं यार अभी तो मैं फोड़ दूंगा, अभी मैं ये कर लूँगा, वो कर लूँगा, and then later you are again back to your operations or you back to
Yeah,
square
then
zero.
what's the point?
Yeah.
Even when you are asking me certain things, right? I gave you time. I made sure that you understood the business principles properly. Me and my team have made sure that you implement them. But then again, next month you say the exact same thing. Then what's the point?
How much of the business success is coachable and how much it just comes down to personality, risk tolerance and timing? I want a brutally honest answer.
50%.
50%. Okay. So 50% depends on your personality traits and 50% of people are...
So here I'll tell you something, and this comes down to emotional endurance again. The moment things go wrong, what people do is they make impulsive decisions. And why things go wrong is because you do not plan ahead. For example, this was a conversation that I was having last week with my this mentorship designers, right? We were talking about how much you invest in a team versus what should be your revenue, right? So I was saying, let's suppose you are spending 5 lakh rupees per month on team, office rent, etc., etc. At least 5x of it should be your revenue. That helps you breathe. And if you have 10x revenue coming to you per month, that gives you the capability to take risks. If you even get that for 1 month, right, that is technically how much? 10 months of the salary. So that ways you're free कि 10 महीने के मेरा खर्चा set है. अब अगर आपको कोई और, if you want to start a new vertical, you want to invest, you want to buy a property, you want to do another business, you want to do anything else, you have that risk taking capability जो आपके पास otherwise नहीं होगी. Most designers, if they're spending 5x, they're just making 2x out of it. 5 लगा रहे हैं तो 10 आ रहा है बस. एंड दैट इज टेक्निकली अगर आप 5 लगा रहे हो 10 आ रहा है तो आपके पास क्या 2 महीने की सैलरी है. 2 महीने की सैलरी में आप ही खुल के सांस नहीं ले सकते. एंड देन 1 bad month, like this is a dry month, next month is going, June is also going to be a dry month, right? 2 bad months and you'll rethink your entire life. Did I do it right? And then you know what you'll do? You'll blame others. You'll blame your team. You'll blame your partner. You'll blame your contractor. You'll blame the market. You'll blame the planets. You'll blame the vastu of your house. But actually the problem is the vastu of you. unless this is aligned, you're just none of that is worth it.
So basically, it's you need to work on yourself first.
Yes.
It's all about you. So I think so. Even the success and the failure is all because of you. That's
Yes,
it. Right?
yes. And this is I somebody made fun of me for saying this, but every time my team does something wrong, my first instinct is मुझसे क्या गलती हुई.
Hmm.
I never look at them कि इसने क्यों गलत कर दिया या whatever. I first look at कि did I not brief them properly? Was there a gap in my communication? Did I not set the expectations clearly or what? अगर ये सारे parameters सही थे मेरे end से, then I'll shout at them. But your team is as good as you. I am blessed with really good team. They are, मतलब, I don't know how to put it right, but उनके अंदर वो फायर है जो मेरे अंदर है. And I spend a lot of time nurturing those people. If they are feeling low, I can just tell by their text that they're feeling low. So I'll be like, let's just have coffee. चल बैठते हैं, बात करते हैं, chill करते हैं. And I do not look at them as my brothers and sisters, but I do look at them as a sports team. That I'm here for you, but you also have to perform. Like that. You should never look at your team as brothers and sisters. You look at them as a sports team. So I have had, my team members have been with me for minimum 4 years, I think. Usse pehle, I was still installing systems, so then everything was haywire. Once the systems came in, I let go of all the older people and then I let in all the new people after that.
Is the coaching industry in India seeing a real transformation right now? Or is it something mostly people are just selling dreams?
Mostly people are selling dreams and bullshit.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there'll be very real coaches if you have to identify design coaches, apart from you, obviously. Like
No.
there's no one,
Not
absolutely
taking
no
names. Not taking names.
one. No, I understand. But apart from you, you don't think there is anyone
I
who's
don't
doing a
know.
really good job
I don't know.
in design
because,
industry?
See, I'll tell you one thing about me. I and my team also, we work much harder when you're onboarded. मतलब आपको ऑनबोर्ड करने तक की जो हमारी मेहनत है वो मेहनत कुछ नहीं है. सो एवरी सिंगल वीक, लेट्स से इस हफ्ते देयर वाज नो ट्रेनिंग, राइट? You asked me ki how much time do I spend on coaching, right? An entire day goes into every single person who is working with us. कि इसका क्या चल रहा है? What is happening? I look at the recordings. I look at their entire timeline. When did they onboard? What has happened in the past few weeks? What is happening now? How should they go ahead? And there is like a weekly check-in to make sure that you are not losing track. And that is 1 day per week of my life.
Right.
And my team is always, like, ये हो गया, वो हो गया, ऐसा हो गया, whatever. They're always on the edge. Nobody should feel like we don't know where to go, we don't know what to do. So it's like having like a business friend. कि कुछ भी है, I can ask this person. I can just send a voice note and ask this person and I even tell people कि you're going for a client pitch, do not go without a check-in call. पहले दिखाओ, we'll tell you what to do and then you go. And they crush it.
Superb.
Yeah.
So that's a very real day-to-day
That's a
level
lot
kind
of
of coaching.
mehnat.
Yeah, I understand, man.
Yeah.
It's a very day-to-day kind of a thing. It's like signing up. You're just guiding your own team. Like if you had a client on board or a pitch on board, it's how would have taken that pitch is something which you're mentoring.
Yeah,
And that needs so much of effort back because you're going to vet through their processes, you're going to vet through their portfolios, you're going to vet through their mood boards, whatever they're going to present to the client. So it's more of a review from your team and then they go and present. And you delegate, like why would you suggest someone doing, see right now what happens is when person is running a smaller team, say a team size of less than 5 people, they say that I'll do everything ourselves, right? Like, so how much of the weightage you give to delegation, and why should someone delegate their task?
Because your job is not to do drawings, your job is to bring clients.
Okay.
Your employee's job is not to bring clients, their job is to do drawings.
Okay.
Simple as that. Even if so here's how I like to structure it when we talk about team and systems. One is your general team and one is your core team. So core team are people who know the ins and outs of everything. They know the finances, they know the numbers coming in, they know the numbers going out, they know what's where, they know the realities of everything. So your core team will be people who are A players, like really smart people, could be even smarter than you in a few things. So I'll tell you, I have one team head who is better at crisis handling than me. मैं आगे कर देती हूँ उसको. There's one person who is better at coordination than me. ठीक है, so she is managing the entire operations, ये वो ऐसा. These are the people who help me go through the day without burning out. Right? So core team is people, basically you have one core team for your design department and one core team member for your management. इन लोगों को सब पता, आपके इनवॉइसेस जा रहे हैं, आपके इनवॉइसेस आ रहे हैं, किस क्लाइंट के साथ क्या हो रहा है, क्या काम फंस गया, व्हाटएवर. इनके नीचे जो लोग हैं उनको सिर्फ काम से मतलब है. दैट्स इट. So these people are coming and going whatever, but your core team has to stay nurtured. They have to believe in you. They have to be walking side by side with you, not behind you, side by side with you. That's how you scale. Once you find an A player, you don't let them go. And most designers think, yaar, itni salary. Usually, it's more about ki if you're paying this much amount of money, how much more money can you bring by getting free from all this work? So let's say suppose I find somebody and I'm paying them 80,000 rupees a month, right? वो candidate मेरा काम कितना आसान कर रहा है? How many hours in a day are they freeing from my calendar? 3 hours, 4 hours a day. If I use those 3 hours, 4 hours a day, every day to get clients, how many clients can I get?
Interesting.
That's how you think. And that's not how design business owners think. That's the problem.
They think that we'll save money by doing the job themselves, but that's not something where, so there's a nice concept of how much you charge, what is your charge per hour, and that's how you calculate in terms of, say, if I'm freeing up 3 hours out of the XYZ revenue, and you calculate with number of hours you're going to spend in business. If there's a good leverage, then why not outsource that job, right? So yeah. And that's why most of the designers think that, most of the business owners, I would not even talk designers, most of the business owners think that, why would I pay? And especially that thing is more prominent in the design industry. Okay, bhai, I'll do this, I'll do that. Do you think that the content creation also jobs can be outsourced? Like, rather than doing it on your own? What can be outsourced and what can be done by your own? If someone is just starting out, like someone cannot open
3Ds, drawing sets can be outsourced. Video editing can be outsourced. I always feel that you should always be the face of your company. If you can't be the face of your company, find a family member who is comfortable with camera and make them the face on the digital platform, and you be the person in the back end. That's all.
But someone can still record content, outsource the editing job, and post it once in a week and schedule the entire post. Still, from all these functions, only the video editing part has to be outsourced.
Technically, if you're hiring a social media manager, they can edit your videos.
Right. No, if someone cannot afford a social media manager or someone is starting out.
Yeah. Video editor can be outsourced.
And then rest of the things can be done.
Yeah. You can, if let's say you're hiring an operations manager, you can ask them to assist for your shoot, and then they can coordinate with the video editor.
Does AI help you systemize lead generation and client communication for a solo interior designer, or it's still more manual than the hype suggests?
Okay, so in this past 1 month, my husband taught me Claude Code.
Hmm.
So Claude Code now controls my entire PC.
Okay.
And it has helped me so much. It has saved me a buckload of money. It costs 10,000 per month, but it has saved me a buckload of money and time. And what I do is, I don't use Claude to design or to generate leads or to create content. I use it to strategize. So I have created a folder. It's called Utsav's Brain in Claude. It's funny. And I have created separate chats for different kinds of clients, for different kinds of scenarios. And what I do is I am training it on how to devise a certain situation, how to firefight it, how to do this, how to do that. So let's say for example, a client has come in, right? सारी मीटिंग हो गई, सब कुछ अच्छा चले गया. लास्ट मोमेंट उन्होंने टीम को कुछ भी ऑब्जेक्शन दे दिया पेमेंट को लेके. Now what are they supposed to do? And it's like a very new thing. They can just ask that chat without talking to any one of us.
Correct.
Right?
So that's for the team what you're training.
Yes. Plus, what Claude Code also does is, let's say suppose that I am creating any new documents. अब मैं क्या करती हूँ, and this is something that I highly recommend to everybody. When you are starting your own business, you should be doing your monthly audits. You should be tracking your KPIs monthly. KPI is Key Performance Indicator. तो उसके अंदर क्या हुआ हमारा, कितनी leads आई, how many calls done, what was the show up, how many discovery calls done, how many showed positive response, how many showed negative response, what was the rate, leads कहाँ से आई, Instagram से आई, network से आई, से you sort of have that data. When you scale, you do it weekly. So I do it weekly. So every Friday evening, we sort of, my team updates it. वो वीकली KPI हमारा पूरा अपडेट होता है कि कितने लीड्स आए थे, उसमें से कितने कॉल्स गए, हाउ मेनी वर नो शोज, हाउ मेनी कॉल्स वर कनेक्टेड, व्हाट हैपेंड, व्हाट डिड नॉट हैपन, एटसेट्रा एटसेट्रा. वो मैनुअली नहीं होता है. ये सारा जो मैनेजमेंट का काम है, स्प्रेडशीट्स बनाने हैं, ट्रैक रखना है, मीटिंग्स का ट्रैक रखना है, MOMs रखने हैं, वो कुछ हम खुद नहीं करते. एवरीथिंग इज क्लाउड कोड. यू पुट इट into it, it creates the entire document and it uploads on Google Drive by itself.
So I use Claude Cowork. So it's like a personal assistant for me.
Yeah.
So it takes out documents. It's the same
I
thing.
started from Cowork, but code is like उसके ना वो tokens खत्म नहीं होते. वो चलता रहता है, continuously चलता रहता है. Cowork से token जल्दी खत्म हो जाते हैं.
So Cowork, you don't use it for software building, but you use it for all the daily tasks.
All the daily tasks that actually drain my team also. क्योंकि वो भी डिज़ाइन टीम भी को भी मैनेजमेंट करना पड़ता है ना थोड़ा बहुत. वो भी परेशान हो जाते हैं कि अभी तक हम ये कर रहे थे और अब हम एकदम से नंबर्स पे आ गए. एंड डिज़ाइनर्स आर नॉट वेरी हैप्पी विथ स्प्रेडशीट्स इन जनरल.
I've got friends who have built ERP system in a manufacturing out of Claude Code. Like it's vibe coding. Yeah?
I'm actually trying to build like an internal systems only using Claude Code, but it will take some time. Since my husband is a UX designer, he learned that and he taught me, and I was like, this is very exciting. So I just started doing it and I learned it in a month.
So you should do more videos, and I think a lot of people don't know about co-work and coding. That's something exceptionally.
And coding is very simple actually. It's as simple as reading AutoCAD lines.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very simple. Once you just see the pattern, like
It's fun.
it's fun. It's like reading balance sheet. Very funny. You know where the numbers are.
Okay. So you like reading through those codes and stuff, whatever is the.
Yeah, I just generally designers are very good at noticing patterns, no?
Very nice. Very
So
interesting.
you just look at it, you'll notice some patterns. You look at how the brackets come in, so the code starts here, it ends here. It's
So I
easy.
never used Notion before. So now I tell my co-work.
Oh, I love Notion.
I tell co-work to update things. Why didn't I like Notion? Because it's to learn. That learning cycle is something which I thought it was very complicated.
I know.
So what I do is I use Claude Cowork as a bot tool. I write stuff that these are all the things I need to do in Notion. It goes to my WhatsApp, it goes to my email, collates all the data and puts it on Notion, updates my file. I'm like, this is really
Notion
nice.
and Asana, yeah.
Yeah, this is really good because, and that too not going through Notion. See, now you don't need to learn Notion.
You don't need to do that, yeah. वो अपने आप कर देगा आपके
Co-work,
PC
yeah.
पे, yes.
So that's where it's
yeah,
something
I'm
where
very happy with Claude.
Yeah, Claude is something. Which are the top tools from GPT, Gemini, and Claude? Which are your
Claude. अभी Google
Claude?
ने
No,
कुछ और भी निकाला ना अभी कुछ दिन पहले ही.
I'm not aware.
Something in
I am
competition with
I am
Claude.
like very happy with Claude. I'm a like big Claude
No,
fan.
no, Claude. ChatGPT though I never liked because it agrees with every single thing you say. That's very bad. Even in Claude, I've mentioned this in the settings that do not agree with me.
Oh, you can do settings also.
Yeah, in the settings, you go to the general settings and there's this instruction option. There you can tell it exactly what to do.
Okay. Okay.
तो जैसे कि अगर मैं sometimes if I feel I brainstorm a lot on Claude, a lot. कि ये ऐसे
Emotionally also, no, it gives you a very
Emotional
objective.
data I don't give it. It can be misused against me. Emotional data I don't give to Claude. Emotional data के लिए I have a very good friends. So I just give my data to them. That I
So
can
what do you
trust.
brainstorm on Claude?
A lot of things. For example, let's say if I'm trying anything new, right? Or let's say if this whole strategy that I was trying, now I want to shift to content, shift this kind of content. So I spoke to it for about a week. Ki I want to do this. How should I start? Because Claude technically है किस चीज़ के लिए? Copywriting के लिए, content creation के लिए है Claude, right? It does not have its own brain, but it can devise you plans on how others have done it.
Right. Data sets.
Yes. So it helped me with a lot of options and I had the liberty to choose from those options. I wasn't sure how should I pursue this? What should my positioning be? How should I talk about it? Because as an architect, you're using this very fancy language. But fancy language is not understood by normal people. Right? So then how do I make a common man understand what architecture is? And I devised all of these ideas. I want to talk about this building, this material, this architecture style, this interior style, blah, blah, blah. And I just keep on feeding it data constantly. And I tell it ki anytime you feel that I'm deviating, you tell me.
Oh, okay. So
Like
that you can do it with the settings.
Yes, you can do it with the settings. And I have different chats for different things now.
So now, don't you think that the lot of your content creation can be automated through Claude?
Yes, it can.
The scripts or the videos itself?
With the scripts, I think Claude is not correct most of the times.
Mm-hmm.
So you cannot just be like, Claude gave the script and you just said it. You have to use your own brains.
Okay.
Right? It does not have a lot of, accurate information on materials, on design, on what goes what, and the information that it has is not specific to Indian context. US context information उसके पास ज़्यादा है.
Acha. So it'll take time. So there's
Yeah,
still
because
a
one
learning
of my this webinar participant, they used ChatGPT and Claude suggested that they should charge 3,000 rupees per square feet, and they are just 1 year in business.
Yeah, that's a lot.
है ना? So then I asked it, which region do you think this matrix is coming from to ask it? Then we're like, yeah, not Indian. Look at India, 100 rupees per square feet.
I think I've used GPT for a lot of render work. It generates some really quick renders.
Yeah.
Gemini takes a
We've
bit
used
of a
that
time,
one.
but if you
I
give a
don't
good
like
brief.
Gemini. I don't like Gemini for some reason. I think if you tell ChatGPT very specifically that this is exactly what you want with references, it will build you a quick render.
Yeah.
And it has helped us specifically with these bigger scale projects, villa kind of projects, जिसके अंदर हम जब तक token नहीं मिला, we could not make renders. But it just gives them an overall view
Look
of
and feel.
something like this it will look.
But does that actually get some free work done? Because in our industry, what happens? The more free work you feed to a client, the more जब तक free आ रहा है, they want to not sign up. Sometimes it becomes a risk because I have done free renders for a lot of corporates, a lot of large corporates I'm talking about. Later, I mean, they took our renders and got the work done elsewhere. So those things like ज़्यादा दिखाना भी नहीं है. Yeah, in short. Don't you think that problem happens?
You should never give it to them.
खाली दिखाओ ना.
खाली दिखाओ.
Yeah. खाली means just get on a Google Meet presentation kind of thing. या दिखाओ या physically meet them. ये दिखाओ and don't share any of the data. If you want to share, you come back to me. Yeah, then eventually we start doing that. I mean that makes a lot of sense. And I think so for till the time you don't receive the token amount, I feel what you're saying is okay, just show them these renders which are generated from GPT.
ChatGPT renders,
It
yes.
really helps you because you're not investing so much of time and effort.
Yes, it's like hardly an hour.
Yeah, yeah. So you don't use Gemini at all?
I don't like Gemini.
Don't you think for AutoCAD is there any replacement? Because I've always brainstormed with Claude. Okay, भाई तुम एक काम करो, ये AutoCAD का file है. Can you just extract a PDF out of it?
I think Claude can now operate Grasshopper. Grasshopper के साथ वो काम कर पा रहा है क्योंकि Grasshopper भी Python में बना ना. But AutoCAD के साथ भी और I think a year and a half I think
हाँ,
they
means
should come.
I'm
Because
wondering.
Figma वगैरह तो you can use.
Yeah, now the Claude design is just
Yeah.
killed
Yeah.
Figma and Adobe.
So I think it will happen soon with V-Ray and with AutoCAD.
You use Claude design?
My
Yeah.
husband has used. I've just seen.
Yeah, you don't. You think it'll be applicable for us?
It will take some time because there's a lot of tactical value to our work.
Hmm.
So it will take
But it's
some
soon there. They are running super fast.
for it will be very helpful for lower ticket clients who cannot afford designers because there's not a lot of detailing they can do anyway. But if anybody goes into a little bit of detailing, it will be a problem.
So, what's your team look like? Like on camera, like always on social media, you're like a single woman running all the three parallel businesses. So, who is the team behind? Like, if you can just give me a rough level overview in terms of what is your team like?
We have 10 people in upscale, 9 people here in content, and 5 people in coaching.
Wow, that's very nice. And what's your core like? As you had mentioned, you have your A, B, and C's.
What's my core?
So few things
Design
like top
heads,
3. Yeah.
design. Basically, for every department, there has to be one core team member.
Okay.
Yeah, and that person, of course, if they're a core team member, they must be an A player. Otherwise, they wouldn't be a core team member. Yes, sir.
But tell me 3 functions where you can't live without. Like if you had to let go all your team members, I'm sure you. I'm not. This is not something to let go. But if you had to again rebuild, assuming a COVID situation came in when you had to let go the whole team and stuff, and which are the 3 core functions you had to keep? Which are the 3 functions you would have? Like you can't run a business without.
Client acquisition,
So your sales or CRM, yeah.
business strategy. How do you want to expand? Where do you want to expand? How do you want to position yourself?
Business strategy, okay.
Yes, and automation.
Okay. So these are all very 3 interesting ones. Automation. You have a person for automation?
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. Automating what? Your
She's-
processes?
She's lovely.
Oh, very nice. That's quite interesting. This is the first time I'm hearing someone you
I
have
like to
automation.
call her my work mom.
Okay.
She's that lovely. She'll like सब ये करना था वो करना था. She'll make sure that I sit with her and just put things across.
That's very interesting because a lot of people don't. I mean, they would tell about these 4-5 functions in business, like support functions, your sales, marketing. But I think the automation is something which is very unique. And how long you've been having a person for automation?
Almost 3 years.
3 years. So 3 years you've been investing in, and this is mainly process automation.
Process. So basically, I'm creating an automation for the entire team. So anytime the new person comes, the manager does not have to spend 1 month training them. They go through like a 1-week training through an LMS, learning management system. They learn everything and they start implementing. So there's no hand holding as such. तो वहाँ पे हमारा time और ज़्यादा हम कम करते जाते हैं. And you know, the interesting thing is all of this came into place because I do not like to be told what I cannot do. Like I was told that if you want to have an architecture business or a design business and a coaching business, you cannot have your own life. And when somebody tells me that you cannot do this, I'm like, watch me.
So you like to automate stuff.
No, I feel that you can have a business, you can be thriving at work, and you can still have time for yourself.
Okay. So that is what is the one process most execution heavy firms like ours skip and cost them most of it in client experience.
A lot of things. Number one, communication and coordination. हमें लगता है कि हमने आज फॉलो अप किया, डन. Sometimes the vendors are not listening to you with the presence of mind. So then you have to follow up again tomorrow. Then again. So that is something that even I have found that this is like a big problem. I think that this is one of the biggest challenges. जितने ज़्यादा आपकी communication के अंदर loopholes आ जाते हैं, उतना ही ज़्यादा there's fighting with the client. And one more thing that I like to do is, whenever you want to finalize something, don't give a lot of time. For example, if something has to be installed in a couple of weeks and the order will take hardly 5 days, order it closer to that timeline. Don't keep a lot of gap. So then the decision is faster.
How do you build solid systems for an execution business like ours? Like checklists for example, there should be a checklist for site managers and project managers, civil, POP, MEP, all run through without physically chasing them every day, as you had rightly mentioned.
Yeah. Number one is your site checklists. So every single time, every single day, whatever is happening on site, उसके लिए एक proper visually documented checklist that these things have been happening, getting them reviewed with the team. कि ये हो गया, is there anything left? They check in with you and then they get it approved. What was your question again?
So what is the checklist? How do you build a solid proof checklist for civil, POP, MEP, where all run without physically chasing vendors every day? So how do you build?
Physically chasing vendors every day.
Yeah. So that's for execution heavy business. Like if you're running a turnkey business, the biggest challenge is chasing the vendors every single day, right? And you know how they are, right? They'll say like, itna hi kaam baki hai. They'll move people to other sites and all that stuff. So what I feel personally, what I felt was if there had been a checklist for each and every function of the things which I need to finish in a particular site. For example, office space. There is POP, there is civil, there is MEP, there is modular, there is signage. There are like 10 different things which needs to be done. If all the 10 had different checklist and these things, and that checklist takes care of quality also. Like for example, the gypsum partition, between the two partitions, there should be a gap of XYZ, say 2 feet gap for the metal framework and stuff. If there is a plywood which is coming in, so there has to be so much cutting need not be done. It has to be fixed below those channels.
Okay, now
those
I understand. Now I understand
checklists.
your question. For every firm, there is this protocol that every firm likes to follow. For example, अगर आप let's say फॉल सीलिंग की बात कर रहे हो, right? आपका एक तरीका होगा काम करने का. वो आपका एक स्टैंडर्ड मेट्रिक्स होंगे कि मुझे ये पेलमेट में इतना गैप चाहिए, मुझे कर्व्स में ऐसा ही चाहिए, लाइक मुझे मिनिमम इतने कर्व्स चाहिए होते हैं या हमें मिनिमम ऐसा चाहिए, वट एवर योर थिंग इज़, यू डिवाइज दैट फर्स्ट. उसके अकॉर्डिंग हर प्रोजेक्ट के हिसाब से आपकी चेकलिस्ट थोड़ी सी वेरी करेगी. बट देन फर्स्ट यू टेक वन प्रोजेक्ट एंड यू स्टैंडर्डाइज एवरी थिंग. फर्स्ट यू स्टैंडर्डाइज वट एग्जैक्टली हैपन्ड पर स्टेज इन दिस प्रोजेक्ट. एंड फ्रॉम देयर यू क्रिएट अ स्टैंडर्ड पैरामीटर कि ये हमारा काम करने का तरीका. यू विल बी सरप्राइज टू सी कि व्हेन यू सी कि अच्छा हमारे ये तरीके हैं, यू विल बी सरप्राइज कि ओके वी आर सो स्ट्रक्चर्ड इन सर्टेन थिंग्स, बिकॉज एज फार एज इट इज़ ऑन द ब्रेन इट्स डिफरेंट, बट एज soon as it becomes on paper, now it becomes very real. Standardize that first, that this is your way of working, these are some non-negotiables and these are some negotiables for you, and then customize it for every site. क्योंकि आपके डिज़ाइन डिफरेंट हो सकता है, कुछ भी डिफरेंट हो सकता है. बट जब मैंने ये चीज़ करी थी, फर्स्ट थिंग वाज वी स्टार्टेड विद अ रेस्टोरेंट प्रोजेक्ट. उसका हर एक दिन का पूरा एक वो बना था चेकलिस्ट कि ये हुआ और ये ऐसे हुआ और ये ऐसे हुआ, लाइक दैट. देन वी स्टैंडर्डाइज्ड इट. So we started with the commercial one first, and then we went to residential.
And someone who has absolutely no process. So for me, sometimes it feels like I'm not the process guy. I can't follow process. It's just a psychological thing, and this is going on for years. Where do I start?
Hire somebody who can help you with that. Don't do it yourself.
Yeah.
Don't go against the flow.
So hire someone who likes to follow the process.
Yeah. For example, I'm a very blunt person. I'm not the very best person to handle, any kind of misbehavior, because I'll be like that. So the communications person, you've spoken to her, she comes in there. She'll very softly, just do all the firefighting without making the other person feel that we have done firefighting. I'm not the right person. So whatever you feel you're not the right person for, you always hire for that. It makes your job much easier.
So does the process, you get a person who just whose job is
And
to
hire a woman for this. Women are much better at systems and processes and all these things than men. Men's forte is never processes.
and someone who's impatient, obviously no. How do you manage then? You're being so impatient.
Impatience. So one big advantage of impatience is that since you do not want to wait for something, you just run towards it, right? You will just start working towards it. When you start working towards it and you see a lot of problems that are coming your way, then you start solving those problems one by one, right? And then you see the whole picture that, okay, from the bird's eye view, it looked very easy, but now it's not. And when you see that, okay, these kind of problems are coming in, what I do is I just take a step back. It's like you're driving on a highway, आप भगाए जा रहे हो गाड़ी और अब आपको लग रहा है कि अरे बहुत खड्डे आ रहे हैं, let's just stop for a while. Let's just take like a 30-minute break. So I take a break, I analyze what has happened before, इसमें से क्या सही किया मैंने, क्या गलत किया, and based on this, what could be potentially happening further. So my first month is usually just very aggressively working towards it. But after that, when I see some data coming to me, then I become data centric. When I have no data, I'll just run towards it. Yes, sir. So that's one way to go about it.
All right, fair enough. Tell me about a client from hell, not to name this, just a situation. What happened and what did you learn and what would you do differently today?
There was this one elderly couple who were not happy with anything. Anything. And this guy was like, he was this huge. And after we finished off the project, he was like, मुझे commode पसंद नहीं आया.
Oh,
And he said that in front of everyone at his Greh Pravesh function. So I'm just like, okay, sir, I just did this. And everybody started laughing. So those people were hell for me for a lot of reasons, because usually a client is hell when they're very indecisive. Nothing is worse than an indecisive client. So if, let's say, a husband and wife, it took them 6 months into the project to say it out loud that we are a separated couple who live together.
oh my God.
Yeah. So when we started the interiors and everything, and she was constantly fighting with me कि मेरा bathroom ऐसे वैसे करके, they did not tell me that they wanted like a separate bedrooms and stuff. They were just quietly having this assumption that they'll have separate bedrooms and stuff. So then when she told me कि हम साथ में नहीं सोते हैं, and then I just had the talk with her कि क्या scene है, क्या है, and then we had to change the entire design scheme for them. 6 months into when things are building.
Have you taken a client just purely for money and
Yes.
knowing it wasn't right for you?
Yes.
Okay.
Back in 2018, 2019, very much into the money mode. I just wanted money at that time, and I was exploited a lot because I was told that आप तो needy हो, आप इतने में कर लो, ऐसा. And at that point of time also, I just felt like, okay, I'll do this project, I'll use this project for a better portfolio to get better clients, but that never happened. In fact, I did my first 7 projects for free. I ended up doing it
Oh
for
shit,
free.
that's the worst feeling.
That is the worst feeling. Yeah.
Interior designing is a perception problem in India. Clients think designers are expensive unnecessarily or just decorators. Whose fault is it? Is it the industry fault or is just the designers themselves?
None. A lot has changed in this country in the past 100 years. And it's a problem as a society at large. It's not an industry problem. So if you look at things, we are such a culturally rich country, right? Right from fabrics, from food, everything. What did we do? We discarded that for mass production, mass produced stuff, right? We're wearing polyester, which is not good for us, which is not healthy for us, which is causing X number of problems. तो हमने क्या किया, whatever happened in the 1950s and 60s and 70s and 80s, whatever has happened in this country, but we forgot what we had and we just sort of became somebody that we were never. India was never like that. उसका रिजल्ट है ये, क्योंकि हम मास प्रोडक्शन में इतना ज़्यादा आगे आ गए. द कंट्री ओनली अंडरस्टैंड्स मास प्रोड्यूस स्टफ कि ये है, ये इतने का है, दैट्स इट. दे डू नॉट अंडरस्टैंड और वैल्यू द क्राफ्ट्समैनशिप एनी मोर. वो इसी फेज में आया. उससे पहले वी वर द काइंड ऑफ होम्स दैट वी वर लिविंग इन, द काइंड ऑफ क्लोथ्स वी यूज्ड टू वेयर, व्हाट वाज दैट? Very much local, very much contextual. There was always a story to tell, but now it's not there. So it's just a trend that has followed, and that is how we have become.
So that's the same problem with interior designers industry only.
Yes. Yes, because people see, पहले interior design तो होता नहीं था. पहले तो architecture ही होता था. तो अब new materials came in, things started happening, so then interior design also came in as a specific thing. Now the aspirational value is so high in our country. They look at influencers, they look at everybody and they want these things. हमको क्या चाहिए? हमको instant gratification चाहिए. But interior design एक instant gratification वाली चीज़ नहीं है. Maybe you cannot afford that instant gratification team. So just do your own decor. Right? Why do you need to hire somebody? Just use your own brains and make something out of it. It's your home at the end of the day. Not everybody needs a designer, and especially if somebody has like hardly 2 or 3 lakhs to spend, rather spend it yourself than hire somebody else to do it.
And does now I think so AI also can help you a lot in terms of design. You think so?
Yeah, and I think this generation is very much aesthetics aware also, the Gen Zs. Very much sensitive to aesthetics. I think they'll do a good job decorating their homes themselves.
Do you think that most designers who stay stuck and underpaid are genuinely bad at the business, or they're just too proud to admit that they don't need help? Both. So you've how many designers have you trained so far? So I mean that's something which we will validate with the right data.
If I were to talk about courses and webinars and stuff, close to about 2 lakh.
Okay.
If I'm talking about just mentorship, somewhere around 230 now. And most people that I've felt is, like I said, 30% is design, 70% is management. Most people feel there's nothing wrong with it. Most people feel they're special. Their situation is special. Their firms are special. There's nothing wrong with thinking like that. But you thinking that a standard system will not work for you? Every single business works on a standard system. You tweak it a little here and there. But if you feel ki no, things are special because it's your city, it's this, it's that, without you even trying for it, that's just complete BS. And that's what we like to add a lot of philosophy to our business. That's our problem. Our business does not need philosophy, it needs system.
So basically, we have a problem of not admitting that we have a problem.
Yeah. Very high egos. Very high egos.
And अगर हम बेशरम हैं, admit कर सकते हैं ये business का problem है. For example, as I told you that मेरा problem process है. And what you told, like, I admit that problem outright. I need to address the problem rather than correcting myself, right? Because correcting myself, I've been trying for a couple of years. It's not happened. So I doubt that it'll happen because obviously me being impatient on working on the whole process. So for that solution is admit the problem, hire someone who can do a job and move on. So at least that
Yeah.
thing can move on.
Yeah.
And what is your tip for hiring? Like how do you hire good people? Is it Naukri, Indeed, LinkedIn?
Mostly LinkedIn has worked for me. You get them to write emails to you with their resumes and portfolios. And then we like to do a check-in call with them, more like a vibe check. So just to get a hang of where they are coming from, how are they sounding like? Because if anybody sounds like they have a problem first approach or they're talking in a very nagging way, it's a no for me. I cannot tolerate those people, right? So after the vibe check happens, then a Zoom interview happens. We're sitting across and we are talking about certain things. So there we give them hypothetical scenarios that you can get from Claude. Okay, if let's say, the manager is unavailable, the manager is on any site in, let's say, Gurgaon, and Noida site, you get a call from Noida site with certain things, what would you do, right? That says a lot about their seriousness towards your company, their seriousness towards their work, and their accountability as well. Because you can teach somebody technical skills. आप किसी को software सिखा सकते हो, आप किसी को construction सिखा सकते हो, but आप उसे attitude नहीं सिखा सकते. So if some person does not have the right attitude, they are not accountable, they're not trustworthy, and you feel like you cannot build a fort with them. They're not your A players.
So you always look out for A players?
Yes. And I'm always hiring.
You're always hiring.
I don't post it on LinkedIn all the time. I only post it when it's urgently required. But if somebody is reaching out to me and if we like that person's,
You'll hire.
we'll at least interview. We'll interview at least.
If I say, for example, if I'm talking about myself, if I have an eye for design, like I understand design quite well, but if I want someone who has an excellent eye for design, who's extremely creative, like who can create these amazing homes which are worthwhile, which are very different than what typically you see, trends. Do you think that you will be able to get a person like that from a good college?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So you get creative people who can think differently out of college, who are technically also sound.
Technically, not so much.
Technically not.
So they will not have a lot of site knowledge, but the way they'll be thinking will be very out of the box, if that's what you're looking for.
So those kind of people you'll find, but one who's technically sound, that's something which you need to have someone who's experienced, because then only they know site related problems, how do you solve things and stuff. Off late
And I would keep both the people.
Yeah, 100%.
I would not keep
I agree.
one.
I agree. We have done that mistake. So, I mean, if I have an artist who can create some crazy renders, walkthroughs, and if he does not know what material has been used or how this is going to be practically implemented at the site, then it's a complete no-no for us. Like we have made
so
those
you have
burned
to
our
keep
fingers.
both the people.
Yeah, because technically understanding and I think so the best combination of architects or interior designers who could be the right, whom I enjoy working with, who exactly knows what they've visualized. Like they exactly know the groove lines, that this is there. They exactly know the material which is going to go through. They exactly at least have an idea on fitment on how this is going to be fixed. I think those are the best combinations to have. But nevertheless, having one who's extremely creative and one who knows the site is again a good combination. You have both in your team, I'm sure. And I think I've been using Claude also quite a lot in terms of detailing and all. Like I didn't know how to, I was just doing a friend's house, just helping them out, and I was just I know how the curve of the marble would curve, and I wanted to use a heavy marble on a shutter. So I just typed out few things on Claude, and then they gave me, these are the hinges and these are the things what you need to use, and this is the capacity load and stuff. So I feel that people who are not well versed technically, I think so AI is like to certain
Yeah.
extent Claude helps you
Yeah,
get an
yeah.
outer view, and then you can check with the
You don't have
contractor.
to embarrass yourself.
Yeah, exactly. And you can check with the contractor also, no? कि ऐसा भी होता है. You can cross question them. Earlier जो contractor बोल दिया वही हाँ है. Like now you have an ability of cross questioning.
Yeah.
The last question: if everything disappeared tomorrow, I hope it does not. Your coaching business, your
I don't mind.
followership, your architectural practice. What is the exact playbook? What would you do in a week's time, and what would you do? You would not waste your time on. Like one thing, what you'll do the next week, and second thing is what are the things which you not waste your time on?
For a week, I'll just sleep.
Are you serious? Yeah.
I
yeah.
am very serious. I'll just sleep. I'll be like कि अब तो हो गया ना, ठीक है, कोई बात नहीं. So it's like how Sadhguru says, you came with nothing and you're going to go with nothing. It's fine. So I did not come with this business, right? I'll sleep for a week, and then after a week I'm going to call all my Lala friends. ठीक है, जो भी फैक्ट्री वाले लाले, मैं सबको फ़ोन करूँगी, मैं पूछूंगी क्या चल रहा है. And then I'll start the most boring business. The most boring business. It could be horticulture, it could be EV, it could be export, it could be something that does not require me to even be there, and no social media required, nothing. And absolutely not a service business.
You will not get into this business. Are you serious?
I'm actually very seriously considering, talking to a few of my friends to, have a boring business. Because I do not want to work after I'm 45. तो मैं थोड़ा सा पहले से ही सोच के चल रही हूँ कि अगर मुझे नहीं करना है, I have 12 years with me, so what do we do? So the money comes in, I don't work.
But what boring business? Like you would enjoy that boring business? Yeah, you like boring business.
See, boring business is more about crunching numbers, but I would be doing something else with my life. Maybe I'll finally be doing my shelter full time, taking care of animals and stuff. Maybe I'll do that. Or maybe I'll just take sannyas. I don't know. I would really want to do that before I'm 60.
Quite different, huh? Quite
Yes.
different. And you talk a lot in terms of your first half of the day. I mean, the first few hours in terms of
Brahma
meditation.
Muhurat, yeah.
Why would you do that? Like, I mean, obviously it helps you so much of benefits. But from a person point of view, like how does it benefit you in terms of your business, in terms of your relationship, in terms of your personal life?
Meditation rewires your brain. What meditation has done for me is that whatever work took me like a lot of time, now it takes me half the time. That's how I am able to do everything now. So taking a flight, doing this, going back, handling something, doing multiple calls, earlier it was not possible for me. Similarly, stress management has become very high. पहले तो छोटा सा stress पे भी I used to like act like a diva. Now I'm like, fine, not a big deal. I only give it like 5 minutes. I'll cringe about it for 5 minutes. बस उसके बाद मैं उसके बारे में बिल्कुल नहीं सोचती. Similarly, perspective changes a lot. So for me, the perspective is like I told you कि if the business falls, I'll be okay. I'll sleep for a week. क्योंकि अब तो हो गया, अब क्या कर सकते हैं, right? So that acceptance towards people, towards things that okay, this is happening, this is not happening. So why meditation is because I started with nothing. And there is no daddy's money for me. There's no husband's money for me. I literally started with 2,500 rupees that I was so guilty about spending back in 2018. And I've built so much in 8 years all by myself. Of course, I have family, I have friends, I have team. But the fire was always me, right? So all this would not have been possible if there was no meditation around. I would have just lost myself. Because business sometimes it tests you as a person. Whatever you are as a human being, that's how your business is going to be.
Yeah, you trust that, and I think so. Do you think that things can change at a later age? Say
I told you na, if you fix your own vastu, everything else is fixed.
it change, and you can succeed. Like you can take leaps in business.
Yes.
Superb. Thanks a lot, Utsav, for joining in. I think so. There was a very different conversation, and it was great knowing you. To be honest, the personality what I see online and versus what I met you personally is completely different. And I'm happy to know this personality. To be very honest, because you bring in a very different point of view in terms of business, in terms of personal, and in terms of everything else. What are you doing? And I think so. You're doing an amazing job. Keep doing it. I think so. What you need to do is you need to keep coaching people, because I think so that is the most required for a lot of struggling entrepreneurs who are in design industry, because they don't know how to take the business to the next level. A lot of people are struggling with, because we meet a lot of people where I think that a lot of people are struggling with business development, lead generation, content creation, and other things. What you're talking about, the people's capacity to take mental trauma, or it's more of they get very fast traumatized. So I think so the whole mindset game is something which a lot of people need it, and I think so you're doing that. Thanks a lot.